Hey y'all, it's Janine, and you are tuned into Living Life with a Twist, the YouTube channel. Please hit thumbs up, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, notifications. But in the meantime, it's winter time, and so to me that means gingerbread. And not just any kind of gingerbread, really like hardcore spices. I love it. Warms my heart, warms my belly, makes my mouth happy. Okay, so we're going to be getting to our gingerbread recipe, which is vegan and gluten-free, but not taste-free, and so let's get to it. Okay, so I have preheated my oven to 350. It's important to have your temperature correct, and that is what it calls for this cookie recipe. And the first thing I'm actually going to do is take, I needed to explain, I am doubling the recipe that is below because I'm making a whole bunch of cookies. And so what's below, like I said, is going to be the single recipe, so let's get on with that right now. This is going to be 2 tablespoons of ground flaxseed, and I have 6 tablespoons of purified water right here. And I am going to put these together, mix this up a bit, just a bit, because it's going to gel and act like an egg. Like I said, this is gluten-free and vegan. Okay, here we are with our dry ingredients. This recipe is done with a mixture of almond flour and gluten-free flour blend. As I said, I'm doubling the recipe, so this is going to be 4 cups of almond flour. To that, I'm going to be adding 1 whole cup of the gluten-free flour blend. Just put this, as I said, we're doing our dry ingredients because we're going to eventually be adding them to our wet ingredients. So I just kind of mix. It's not so important that you sift or any of that because it's all actually going to be going in there. I mean, if you want to get technical and all that. What I did want to show you right here is that I actually just got the Walmart brand all-purpose gluten-free baking mix. I really like it. It always works, and so that's what I'm using right now here, but just letting you know not every single Walmart carries the actual Walmart brand. So that's what I'm using for that. Okay, next I'm going to actually be adding my sugar. So this is going to be 1 cup of sugar. Now you could use any kind of sugar that you want. Mine is actually going to be an organic stevia sugar substitute blend. The Pyure organic stevia. It's my favorite. It tastes wonderful. It melds right into any recipe without tasting anything odd, as stevia can be bitter, but this is not. And so I recommend that. That's of course going to be below. Everything that we're using is going to be in the recipe, and then there's going to be links to where you can get them, whether you need to go to the store or get them online. Okay, next we're going to be doing our spices. So we're going to be starting with cinnamon. What I actually did was I took these organic cinnamon sticks because I was feeling all Martha Stewart-like because they hit the clearance, and I whizzed them up, and actually they've made the most wonderful pungent cinnamon I have ever had in my life, and that is what I have right here. And so this is going to be 2 teaspoons of this wonderful cinnamon. I'm going to put that right on top. Next, I'm going to be bringing out my ginger. Now you could mix some wet or fresh ginger, dry ginger. This is all dry ginger, and this is going to be 3 teaspoons of it. You might think, my goodness, that's excessive, but in this recipe, it's perfect. Remember, this is doubled. So that's 3 teaspoons of ginger. Okay, next I'm going to be putting my nutmeg. Now I want to show you this right here. It's worth it. This is actually from my grandmother's kitchen. It's worth it to get a nutmeg grater with fresh nutmeg. There's just some things like spices that are just worth paying the money for, and I just grated out a bunch until it hit a solid teaspoon because, like I said, I'm doubling, so this is 1 whole teaspoon of the nutmeg, freshly ground. And the spices are more pungent when they're fresh. Now, I'm going to be putting in some cloves. You have to be careful of clove. So this is only going to be a half a teaspoon of the clove. Clove is very pungent, no matter if it's fresh or not. Okay, and now this dry ingredient thing, it's just leaving me a couple things to put in, which is just the baking soda, which is going to help it puff up. And so for the baking soda, that's going to be 2 teaspoons, followed by just a bit of salt. So that's actually, you may not think it's a bit, but this is the pink Himalayan salt. It's going to be half a teaspoon of salt. You really do need that. It's going to set off the sugar. It just makes everything come together wonderfully. You may say, oh my goodness, that sounds odd. You know, salt makes the sugar sweeter, but that is the truth. That's why they have salted caramel products and whatnot. So I'm just giving this, you know, a nice blend, making sure everything, or, you know, whisk here just a bit. And I love this Pioneer Woman whisk. It conforms to the bowl. Just getting there. And when we come back, we're going to be doing the wet ingredients. Okay, here we are. We're going to be doing our wet ingredients. I have the old trusty KitchenAid out. You can use whatever you need to, including old elbow grease if need be, but I have the KitchenAid, so I'm definitely going to use it. Okay, so these are my wet ingredients, and that's what I'm going to start with right now. I'm going to start at the beginning. Remember, we made this gel in the very beginning using our flaxseed in our water. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. Okay. Next, I'm going to be putting in all of the coconut oil, which is going to be softened. So you see how it still has that white to it, but it's not liquid all the way. And so the softened is going to be 1 whole cup of this softened coconut oil. And it does come together so nicely in the flavors. Yum! Okay, so I'm just going to go on and just kind of get that going a bit. Alright, take this down a notch, and I'm going to be putting in my molasses. And this is going to be 1/2 of a cup. And actually, you know what? I took off this little thing that we have around here that helps me pour things in, but I did it for the camera, but honestly, it does help having that little kind of protective bib. But I'm going to go on and do this and start it back up again. You just keep going. Isn't that what Julia Child always said? Keep going. Okay. I'll let that, get that going. Yes. Okay, this is going to be my vanilla, and that's going to be 2 teaspoons. And I just want to get that going. I am going to stop this and scrape the sides. Hit it one more time before I start adding my dry ingredients. Now, hopefully by this point, your oven will be preheated to 350. It is important to be spot on with this because it really is a 10-minute cookie. It's very fast and I love it. So, with this, I am going to start adding just a little bit at a time. It really doesn't take that long to incorporate. It's worth doing it a little bit at a time, making it nice and perfect. Of course, when I have this done, I'm going to scrape, and I guess I will be right back. Okay, here we are. I incorporated all my flour. Let it mix. You don't have to let it beat for a terribly long time. I have washed my hands in seriously hot water. So I'm going to go on. This is just a plain old scooper, as you can see, and these cookies actually don't spread a whole lot. So what size you make is generally what the size it's going to be. It's going to puff up a bit, but not out. Okay, so I like to go all the way to the top like so, come together, make a ball, as you can see, and put it there. And I'm going to continue to do so until all of my sheets are done. You maybe can see right here that actually I have used parchment paper. Now, if you watch any of my other videos, you know I have Silpats. But I have a lot of dough here, and so this is going to help me just, when it's done, slide it right off. I can put another parchment paper in there and keep going. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do these pans, fill them up. I'm going to put them in my oven at 350 for 10 minutes. This is not, you want to be right on with the temperature and right on with the 10 minutes, no more. I will see you when these are done. Okay, y'all, here we are. I have pulled them out after 10 minutes, and then I have let them sit here to thoroughly cool to room temperature. Now, again, my hands are nice and clean, so I'm just going to take a few off here and show you how we're going to go ahead and plate these and finish them up. You see the brown color, you know, we all know gingerbread's excellent, but it may not be the prettiest thing to look at. So the only real sugar component, because I use the Pyure, is going to be some powdered sugar. Just because it's just going to make everything look pretty. I don't know anybody that doesn't like some powdered sugar on something. And if you don't, I don't know what to say. But, so you can see I have powdered sugar, and I'm going to continue to do all that to every single cookie. And then that's how I plate them. It's powdered sugar. And I might serve it with coffee. Well, definitely with coffee. Maybe some hot cocoa. All of that. So I really hope y'all try this gingerbread recipe. It's excellent, and it's healthy for you too. Gluten-free, vegan, with all the wonderful spices that are always so good for you that help with antioxidants and everything, especially cinnamon for your heart, and just a dusting of powdered sugar. And you could put whatever powdered sugar you like, but I'm just using regular old Domino confectioner sugar. And this is what I love. I'm going to eat a whole bunch of these, so is my family, and I hope yours does too. If you like this, hit thumbs up, hit subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family, and from my family to yours, have a blessed day.